Welcome to Mallorca. I'm Jake James and I'm going to show you how spending just 2 days of your holiday out at the resort can make it so much better.
What comes into your mind when you hear the name Mallorca? If you're from the UK like me, there's a pretty good chance that we all picture it in a similar way. Magaluf and package holidays. But that's an image that's so unfair because this wonderful island has so much more than that to give. Mallorca is a part of Spain. More specifically, it's the largest of the Balearic Islands. Its location in the Mediterranean means that the sun shines all year round. Many come to Mallorca for the glow of its white sandy beaches, but there's something here for everyone. Mallorca has a population of around 900,000 people, but 28 million people pass through its main airport every year, roughly equivalent to a third of the UK population. Mallorca's landscape is dominated by two mountain ranges, Serra de Tramuntana and Serra de Llevant. The roads through the mountains are some of the most beautiful drives in the world. And while you're here, why not enjoy these roads in an electric car? Mallorca has pledged that by 2050, only electric vehicles will be permitted on the island. And there are charging points for electric cars everywhere. Or, if you're the one full of energy, Mallorca attracts around 150,000 cycling tourists every year, and the mountains are mapped with dozens of hiking routes that take you all over the island. There's so much to see and do in Mallorca, but that image of a cheap party holiday still exists. There's nothing evil about treating yourself to a hassle-free resort. Your holiday time is valuable, and finding a chance to relax these days is a luxury itself. But we wanted to show you more of Mallorca, show you how to get more out of your holiday, and still leave you with plenty of time to get that relaxation you deserve. Do you want to know the secret to a hassle-free start to your trip? It's an airport lounge. Away from the hustle and bustle, you can enjoy some lunch, a few drinks, and generally just enjoy a much more chilled out atmosphere than the terminal. After boarding our plane and enjoying a short flight of maybe just over 2 hours, we arrived at Palma de Mallorca Airport.
So we're off the plane, heading to pick up our checked luggage. The flight was only about 2 hours, so it wasn't too bad, but you know, I'm 6'2", so I would have liked a bit more leg room than Ryanair would have given me for free. But yeah, and then after we grab our luggage, head to our transfer, which will take us to our accommodation, which we booked in advance, so the guy should just be there waiting for us with a little sign, hop in the car, and off we go.
Booking our transfer in advance meant a door-to-door service, which was ideal for us, and saved us so much time and stress. We'd definitely recommend it. But for now, after a long journey, it was time to get plenty of rest before the busy trip ahead. In 2011, the Tramuntana mountain range was awarded World Heritage status as an area of great physical and cultural significance. Nestled in these mountains, just a 15 to 20 minute drive from Palma in our electric hire car, is a little town called Valldemossa. It's a picturesque place, like something from a film, and from the second you arrive, you're surrounded with lush greenery, wildflowers, and the fresh smell of citrus. With a population of around just 2,000 people, Valldemossa is a little sanctuary of blonde stone architecture in a sea of green.
So Valldemossa is a stunning tourist destination, and you can really get like a feel of early Spanish culture here in the architecture, and there's loads of cafes and restaurants where you can get loads of Spanish food as well. But it's got a special place in the hearts of the people of Mallorca because it's also the birthplace of Catalina Thomas, who is the patron saint of Mallorca.
But if you're more captivated by the landscape than the history, and who could blame you, the Tramuntana mountains surrounding Valldemossa are covered with a network of well-signed hiking trails leading to the surrounding villages. The countryside around Valldemossa is stunning, and taking a hike is the perfect way to see it. But if you are going to do it, be clever, right? Make sure you stay hydrated, take plenty of water, and sun cream as well, because these hikes can get long, very sunny, and the last thing you want on your holiday is to be sunburnt, dehydrated, and ratty. So be clever. Some of these hikes can take up to 5 hours, but if you're short on time like we were, do what we did and just walk until you're satisfied and then head back down to Valldemossa. So most of the car parks we've been to so far actually have charging stations in them as well, so you shouldn't fear about getting an electric car because you're going to be able to charge it wherever you go. Each of Mallorca's small scattered towns has an authenticity that's hard to find nearer the coast, and the town of Sawyer is no different. So the name of the town is pronounced Sawyer, even though it's spelled Soller, which is S-O-L-L-E-R, in case you need that for your sat-nav. And that's because in Spanish, a double L sound makes something between a Y and a J, like a J, which is why you'll see Mallorca spelt with a double L and with a J, because it's called Mallorca. During the 19th century, Sawyer grew rich as a major exporter of olives and citrus fruits. This money helped the town invest into fantastic modernist architecture and railway connections, something the town is just as famous for today as it is for delicious oranges. The railway and the tram are an iconic part of Sawyer. The bold orange wooden trams pass through the streets and the pedestrians stop to watch them go by. We came to Sawyer in a hire car, and we didn't regret that because the driving routes past Valldemossa were so beautiful. But we just couldn't miss out on that famous tram. We left the car parked safely in Sawyer and caught the wooden tram down to our next destination. The 20-minute tram journey takes you down out of the valley that protects Sawyer to the sea, and along the coast of a quiet seaside resort town called Port de Sóller. Port de Sóller was originally a small fishing village designed to service the main town of Sawyer. The tram line that was made to connect the sister towns is still used today for transporting supplies back and forth, like olives, fish, and, you guessed it, oranges. So if you're looking for more ways to eat more delicious Mallorcan oranges, you can get one of these. It's called a orange Sawyer, and it's made with orange juice, ice cream, and cream. You can get them down here in Port de Sóller and also up in the main Sawyer town as well. And it's so nice, just tastes so fresh. Unlike famous resort towns like Magaluf and Palma to the south, Port de Sóller came through the tourism overdevelopment stage of the 70s and 80s relatively unscathed. But these resort towns aren't evil, not at all. 80% of the island's economy is based on tourism, and some estimates suggest that Mallorcan people have the highest standard of living in Spain. However, it's still a good move to think cleverly about where you're putting your euros while you're here. Because the way I see it, you shouldn't feel guilty about staying in a resort, right? That's your relaxation time, you've earned it, you paid for it. But if you're going to spend 14 days and 14 nights as a log on a lounger with a cocktail in your hand, it's just a waste. There's so much to do and see out in the places you visit, and you can put some money back into the local economy. Why wouldn't you, you know? Visiting local businesses directly supports the Mallorcan people, rather than giving your money to a big brand that's probably not based on the island. And if you're looking to spend an evening away from your relaxing resort, then the tranquil Port de Sóller may be just the place. Down by the sea, away from the mountains that cradle the main town, Port de Sóller faces out from the west coast of the island, meaning that there are beautiful sunsets to enjoy.
but it's also it's really relaxing. It's nice and quiet down here. It might be because, you know, we're here at the end of the day, but when we were up in Sawyer, it was just, it was lovely, but it was really busy. Like, there were loads of tourists coming in from Palma, and the queues for the trains back to Palma were really long. But here it's just slower, a bit more easygoing. Just, you know, really nice way to end the day, I think. Just unwind in the harbour.
We had dinner here as the evening rolled in, and for me it was one of the highlights of the trip, and the perfect way to end the busy day of hikes, railways and exploring.
I hope you'll tune in just a bit for day 2, where we're going to start off in the city of Palma, which is the capital of Mallorca. So we're going to head back to our accommodation soon, but we have so much more lined up tomorrow.
Even if you weren't planning on visiting Palma, you'll know its name because it's the name of the main airport for Mallorca, and this town is also the capital of the island as well. So, here are a few things you might not have known about Palma. Palma de Mallorca Airport serves over 28 million passengers per year, and will most likely be the way that you reach the island on your holiday. Palma was founded thousands of years ago as a Roman camp on the island, but today the urban area of Palma is home to 550,000 people, which is over half of the island's total population. But as big and impressive as this city is, Palma does a wonderful job of preserving an intimate feeling of Mallorcan culture. It's in the old town streets, it's in the insanely delicious orange juice, and it's in the amazing food. There's just so much to try. Even if you're in a rush, do try to nip into a bakery and pick up some delicious pastries.
Like an ensaimada, which is a kind of Mallorcan pastry that comes with all kinds of sweet fillings. And this one is chocolate.
But for our breakfast, rather than just chase my sweet tooth, we thought we'd go for something a little healthier. Now, normally I'm an English breakfast kind of guy. I love a fry-up to give me the energy for the day ahead. But I thought I'd try something a little different this morning. A vegetarian bagel restaurant called Bagel. In Bagel, the ingredients are locally sourced and the bagels are cooked on-site fresh every day. The location, smack bang in the middle of Palma Old Town, means it's a great place to visit for a quick bite while you're exploring the city.
I can't overstate how good the food was. It was absolutely delicious. And I think that going to places that are not only locally sourced but also vegan and vegetarian, it's a good way to get out your comfort zone. And, you know, vegetarian food is so much better for the environment, and it's good for your health as well to sometimes spend a little bit of time away from the red meats and the processed meats. So finding somewhere that's locally sourced and preferably vegetarian or vegan to try something new is definitely something I'd recommend.
Palma has no shortage of trendy, cool little restaurants, cafes and stores. If a vegetarian bagel restaurant isn't your style, then there's still plenty of other places that might tickle your fancy. You'll find plenty of them in one of Palma's most stylish neighbourhoods, Santa Catalina. Now, it might sound familiar. The historic fishing neighbourhood shares its name with Saint Catalina Thomas, who we mentioned yesterday was born in Valldemossa. If you're a foodie, you'll want for nothing in Santa Catalina. But if you're not quite ready for a sit-down meal, try the Mercat de Santa Catalina, Palma's oldest food market. There are grocers selling locally sourced produce like they have for generations, but the building is outlined by really cool bars and restaurants, and I'd quite happily have spent the afternoon there trying everything, but time was getting on and we had more places to visit before the day was through. Look to the west from Palma and you'll see ancient towers peeking out above the greenery that blankets the mountainside. It's Castel de Belvoir, or Belvoir Castle.
So even if you're not, a big nerd for history and culture like I am when you're on holiday, you should still come up here because you haven't seen Palma until you've seen it from up there.
The view of Palma from the castle is renowned for being absolutely stunning. In fact, the name of the castle, Belvoir, means lovely view in Catalan. This would have been the perfect place to watch as the afternoon sun lowered in the sky, but we had somewhere else we wanted to see before the day was through. The Port of Palma is the biggest port in the Balearic Islands. The port serves all kinds, commercial cargo, recreational sailing, fishing, and private boat hire included. You can expect to see many enormous, luxurious cruise ships docked here. The wealth of facilities and attractions here have led it to become one of the most important cruise ports in the entire Mediterranean.
The harbour is a really lovely part of Palma. As you can see, you get some pretty gorgeous sunsets. There's loads of bars and restaurants around here as well that give you some really great views out onto the water. So if you're thinking of a way to end a day, end it at the harbour.
Mallorca is full of life, but as evening arrives in the harbour, the scorching sun mixes perfectly with the cool sea air, and it's impossible not to unwind. It really was the perfect place to end our trip.
So it's the end of our time together, and I hope if you take one thing away from this guide, that it's that, it only takes 2 days of your time to just get so much more out of your holiday. Just 2 days away from the pool and the cocktail, which we know not to feel guilty about. You've earned your relaxation, but it's such a small investment of your time to just get out into Mallorca and see how much it has to offer. Just do so much more, see so much more. It really is a fantastic place, and you're not seeing the best of it if you just stay inside the walls of your resort. So I hope that you've enjoyed this guide as much as I enjoyed making it, and I hope that you have a really awesome holiday in Mallorca. My name's Jake James, and I'll see you soon.
Have you been to Mallorca before? Let us know what you thought. And if we missed anything about Mallorca that you loved, then we really want to hear about it. Let us know in the comments below. You'll find loads more travel guides like this on our channel from locations all over the world. And again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.